Hey all, and welcome back to another episode of Poking the Beehive of Angry Virgins in their late 20s. Today, we'll be watching some videos brought to us by the MGTOW community, home to awesome ideas such as single mothers and older women are low value.
That's what you are, your practice.
Our first video is titled, What It's Like to Be a Man in 2021. And you gotta love MGTOW's persistence to play the victim Olympics. Let's find out how red-pilled guys are reacting to reality, shall we?
What has happened over the last year is that everything, with almost no exception, has basically been split in two or divided, with the two halves being pitted against each other. Everything in politics has been divided, and as crazy as it sounds, even genders have been forced against each other.
Oh, okay, cool. So what points do you have to make to help back that up? Oh, it's none? No. Oh, okay.
If we go back to a time not too long ago, actually, you would see that most men felt really good about themselves and very accomplished. And the main reason for this was because they actually felt needed and useful. And one of the most important things that we need to feel complete as men is to feel like we are necessary and like we are useful.
So he said men need to feel useful and needed. Men need to be needed to feel valid. So men need approval of others to feel whole, right? Kind of sounds like a little bitch. Kind of sounds like a little stinky bitch baby, honestly.
Well, most of you have probably noticed that it takes no more than 5 seconds for a dude to pull over and help a girl who's stranded on the side of the road fix a flat tire.
What? So do you like drive and survey the area for women with flat tires? Is that like your superpower?
Get down.
I ain't mad at you. I just want to talk to you.
Okay, so let me fully admit, as a man, I don't know how to change a tire. Actually, one time somebody I know poked fun at me for not knowing how to fix a flat tire. And it had nothing to do with gender. It was just, only an idiot doesn't know how to do something that basic. And well, she was spitting hard facts. I can't lie.
In a world where there is no longer any threat from wild animals, what do girls actually need protection from? So what about food? Are we men still needed to go out and hunt so that we can bring home food for the family? Nope, that's what Pizza Hut and McDonald's are for. So many of the things that make us feel deeply valuable as men are just no longer needed from us.
Yeah, I don't know if you've heard, but humanity hasn't needed to go into the wild and scavenge for food for like at least 10 years at this point. So where does this need come from? Because I don't think you've ever had to do that. I don't think your dad has ever had to do that, or your grandpa. I would even go further and say your great grandpa never had to go into the wild and scavenge for food. So what do you mean?
We would basically just be an outdated piece of machinery that isn't really needed in a world where anything a girl wants can be provided for her with the press of a button or two.
So with the press of a button. So with the press of a button, are you jealous of Uber Eats? Is that what you're saying? I miss the good old days when women were helpless and needed a big strong man to hunt for them. Now they can just call up Domino's for delivery. Tell me if I'm wrong, but if you wanted to provide for someone like a caveman, then wouldn't you enjoy being a delivery boy? Because, okay, think about it. Like, you're the person who's bringing the food to the person who ordered it. So technically, you just brought them their food. You just foraged for them. So to anybody that feels like this, have you thought about being an Uber Eats driver, or like I don't know, what's another one? A DoorDash guy? Maybe you would like DoorDash. While you're at it, why don't you subscribe to a couple of OnlyFans accounts? That way you'll be providing women with money, because that's what you want to do, right? You want to provide for these girls. So why don't you go ahead and sub, right? That should make you feel like you're needed, right?
Ask yourself this. What do you think would happen to a female if she no longer needed resources from men? What do you think would happen if she no longer needed your raw physical strength to protect her? What do you think would happen if girls no longer needed most of the things that you have to offer as a man?
Yeah, if those bitches didn't have us to protect them, they'd all be dead. They're so ungrateful. We fucking do all this shit for them.
I wish he would say what he meant by a man's resources. Like, he could mean like food, money, BO, all of this shit that makes men feel powerful, but it's so vague that I really don't know how to comment on what he's saying. But if he's talking about like raw physical strength on the other hand, then yeah, again, I don't know if you've heard, but like there's this thing that's been around for the past couple, I don't know, like maybe a dozen or 100 years, maybe, that kind of outweighs physical strength. It's very loud and bright, let me tell you that much. I think these guys forget that women can also be jacked and like ready to fight.
Whenever we as humans have too many options, what happens is we end up becoming incredibly picky and selective whenever we are picking something. This is particularly true when it comes to females and how they choose men.
Okay, so this is a fair point to make, and it's something that Nakey Jakey brought up in his online dating video. Thanks to all these dating apps, we have like 100 people to choose from to like date at the palm of our hands. And I think that's made us a lot more picky. When I say us, I mean us as a society. Men, women, and other. However, this point was made as if it's a problem exclusively to men, which is just straight up not true. Red pill dudes often seem to forget that certain problems aren't with girls, but they're just with humanity. Like men and women are guilty of it, and other. The truth isn't that women are too picky, it's that everyone's a bit too picky. The dating market isn't how it is now because of women, it's just a result of the times we live in. If you want anybody to blame, Mark Zuckerberg, Jeff Bezos, I don't know, people that made these apps specifically, instead of just targeting random women, how about we target the people that made the apps? Doesn't that make more sense?
In 2021, girls have now more than ever before more access to resources, more access to protection, more access to food, and all the things that traditionally men have been relied upon to obtain. Girls don't really even need a man personally for validation or attention because they can get those things from social media.
Whoa, you're so right. They do have too much access to resources and protection. Let's take those things away from them. That ought to show them. At this point, I'm convinced that the MGTOW community wants to go back to like the caveman era so they can feel special, quote unquote special. Newsflash guys, if technology was wiped away tomorrow, like a Dr. Stone incident, you'd be just as helpless as you claim most women to be. You play League of Legends. You don't know the first thing about hunting or agriculture.
So what ends up happening is that many men end up feeling completely useless and utterly lost within a society that makes it appear that they just aren't needed anymore. So many guys in 2021 feel lost because they don't feel like girls really need them, and when we feel useless, our self-esteem ends up taking a huge hit.
Right, guys feel lost because girls don't need them to go hunting for food. It couldn't possibly be because the world is on fire, the economy is failing, inflation is at a 40-year high, the global pandemic, minimum wage being too low, gas prices being too high. No, it's because girl not need man hit cat with big stick now. Get over yourself, dude. Okay, so we're only halfway through this, but I'm gonna go ahead and cut it here because the rest of the video is just him repeating the points that have been previously made. And let me go ahead and remind you that none of these points or claims have like research or anything to go with them. It's really just a guy talking about how useless guys are, which, ow, dude, whose team are you on? Next, we're gonna be looking at a MGTOW channel that I've taken shots at in previous videos, so you probably know him. If you don't, I don't blame you. You're one of the lucky ones. In this video, he's talking about how tags like incel and MGTOW have been banned off of TikTok, and that really grinds his gears because people should have the right to talk about how single mothers are used goods. Ooh, it just makes him so angry.
They're trying to deplatform based on a technicality. They want to police more than just the MGTOW and incel acronyms now. They want to scrub the internet of all red pill ideas, so they're working on targeting words they find associated with the manosphere, saying that those terms are part of the incel-adjacent lexicon. The idea, of course, is for women to ban ideas they don't like by simply banning certain words and phrases.
Ah, jeez, alright, oh man. Crazy thing about Chad, man. Whoa, wrong person. Crazy thing about Sandman is he manages to say the most outlandish things in such a short amount of time. Like, there's a lot to unpack with that small clip alone. This man is speed running misogyny. So if words associated with the manosphere are so bad that a platform as big as TikTok is banning them, shouldn't that tell you more about the manosphere than TikTok? If people think words like, oh, I don't know, red pilled have something to do with incels, then shouldn't that tell you that the two things are pretty similar? That might be a bit of a reach. But something else that's a bit of a reach is the idea that these things are being banned because women don't like them. Do you have any factual evidence that proves that a woman was behind getting rid of those words or terms? Nothing? Yeah, I didn't think so. Again, it's just a man spewing all this hate for women without actually proving or bringing any valid proof to the conversation. Next, Sandman brings up how TikTok is guilty of censorship because they banned some guy called Hammerhead 14 times, which you would think after like 2 times TikTok mods would go, yeah, let's get this guy the hell out of here. But 14? This guy must be saying some crazy shit to get yeeted off the platform 14 times. Looking up Hammerhead, I found this YouTube channel with the same name, and Sandman is here in one of the thumbnails, so I'm gonna go ahead and assume it's the same guy. And wow, MGTOW Monk. That certainly tells me this guy has a lot of insightful, cool things to say. Let's go ahead and look at his most popular video. MGTOW monk lofty standards.
I was just curious if you knew what the percentage of men over 6 foot is.
Hey guys, welcome to today's video. Top 10 things that make MGTOWs piss their pants in shame. At number 1 through 10, we have being called short. Thanks for watching. Be sure to tune in next week for my next video, tips and tricks on being a little bitch.
So I have a quick question. What happened to all of the guys?
What happened is you happened.
Yeah, you little dickweed, it's all your fault.
Not specifically you,
Aw.
but your mother, your grandmother, and all of the millions of you out there that say, our body, our choice.
Gee, Mr. Monk, this is starting to sound a bit Jeffrey Epstein.
You see, men, a good supply of them, can't look at a woman and endorse murder. We don't want pussy enough to endorse murder.
Hey guys, Buggy from the future here. I just wanted to mention that I cut out a lot from this video, not because there's a lot of content, but because this guy pauses in between his words so much. Look at this picture. This is how much I had to cut out, so just in case you were curious. Thank you. Oh, did you guys hear that? Did you guys hear that? The MGTOW monk says that the thousands of young women who are sexually assaulted each year are murderers for not wanting to have the baby of the guy who attacked them. I'm starting to get this sneaking suspicion that MGTOWs are pro-life, which is a very conservative right-wing idea to have. So it might be fair to say that MGTOWs are on the far right of the political compass, right?
So what happened to all of those nice guys with 80% single mother homes for the last 40 years? You bred those guys out of existence, and you replaced them with fuckboys.
Oh god, here we are again. Another MGTOW bringing up single mothers, because that's all they can fucking talk about. Alright, so that was just a quick peek at the man who's been banned from TikTok more than 14 times with a lot of hot takes. With hot takes like those, it's hard to imagine that number staying at 14. So let's go ahead and head back to Sandman's video talking about how wrong it was of TikTok to ban communities of people saying shit like this.
Even saying that a single mother has lower sexual marketplace value than one that's never been married or had kids is becoming something that needs to be censored.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
The only solution longer term is our own platforms, with their own forms of monetization.
Guys, oh my god. Guys, this might be the best idea that he's ever thought of before. Imagine a platform dedicated to men posting hot takes on women, right? A platform where all these dudes are very open on their politically incorrect views on women, right? A place where they can be out in the open and they aren't using dog whistles to communicate. That way we know exactly who to fucking avoid. Good luck finding a company that will financially support that, you dumbass.
Again, banning the MGTOW acronym isn't enough for these people. They want to purge the idea to prop up their pussies. I wouldn't be surprised if in the future, the term bachelor or independent man are considered toxic too.
Okay. No, there's a huge fucking difference between a dad who's living on his own as a bachelor and a MGTOW. One plays golf and lounges around in his bathrobe all day, and the other complains about women having too many rights on YouTube. Censorship is fucking annoying, and silencing a community of people who share an idea is wrong. Right, we can agree on that. But I need you to think about how a big company like Facebook or TikTok sees you guys. Okay, so imagine this. You're an unpaid intern at this company, and you see a bunch of accounts talking about how low value single mothers are, right? So you dig a little deeper and you find that all these guys are connected under a similar tag, MGTOW. And then you do a quick Google search on what is MGTOW and you see this. This is the first thing that comes up, right? Anti-feminist, misogynistic. Uh-oh. This is like that incel thing everyone talks about, isn't it? We better shut this shit down before it gets out of hand. Obviously, I have no proof or evidence that this exact thing goes down on a daily basis, but I imagine that's how it went down this time at TikTok HQ. These guys don't seem to understand that from an outside perspective, this ideology seems pretty dangerous. Not because like, oh, people are so triggered, so what if we don't worship women? No, it's because when you start ranking women based on their sexual market value, you start seeing them as objects, tools to make you feel good, right? And that's not good, obviously. Seeing people as lesser than you is an extremely fast way for you to start getting more aggressive with those people. When these MGTOW guys see the statistics of female sexual assault victims, the first fucking thing they say is, well, what about guys? Guys have it bad too. Did you know that 50% of men, blah, blah, blah. Like, okay, what if I showed up to your funeral right? You fucking died on a red pill overdose, whatever. I showed up to your funeral and I walked up to your mom, someone who I imagine is incredibly patient for having to put up with you for all these years, right? And I go, why are you crying? Did you know that millions of people die every day? Why don't you cry about them, huh? Bitch. Do you see how wrong that comes off as, right? Alright, so that's gonna do it for this week. If you like this video, be sure to come back next week and watch me do it again in a new video. I'm gonna go ahead and call this series something like Watching Men Cry. I don't know. It's a new thing. There's plenty of MGTOW shit to go through, and I feel like it's our responsibility to comb through this shit and point out how ridiculous it is, because nobody seems to be doing that, right? So we're gonna go ahead and do that. If you're a MGTOW, be sure to go ahead and leave a thumbs down. That way I know I hurt your feelings. And to the rest of you, thank you so much. Be safe, and I will see you soon.